A lot has changed in the Los Angeles Lakers roster since the end of last season. Let's take a look at their potential starting lineup in the upcoming 2022 NBA season and find out if they're too old to win the NBA title. Let's get right into it. At the point guard position, we have Russell Westbrook. The acquisition of Russ was the team's biggest move of the offseason. It was arguably a desperate move by the Lakers, who are trying to take advantage of LeBron James's narrowing title window. That isn't to say the deal is doomed to fail, but you don't do it unless you're confident you can win a title in the next year or two with things as they are. Since his third season, Westbrook has averaged more than 20 points per game. It's no small feat to average over 20 points per game for 10 seasons in a row, and he'll almost certainly extend it to 11 seasons in 2022. Westbrook was never known to be an efficient scorer. That is one of his main flaws, and it is one of the reasons why the advanced stats don't love him. But this year will be different, in my opinion. This will be the year in which Westbrook surpasses 50% in effective field goal percentage because he is required to do the least amount of work. I believe LeBron will catch up to him, and we will witness a player who does not force the issue and instead makes use of the talent and space available to him. Imagine what LeBron can do when the biggest threat off-ball is always going to be Anthony Davis. We've seen this situation on Westbrook when he was paired with James Harden, being the facilitator. But what's more significant is Russell Westbrook is more than capable of taking some load off of LeBron's back, especially during the regular season. In my opinion, LeBron will sit a few more games this year to make him ready come playoff time. At the shooting guard position, we have Kent Bazemore. Now, we have a couple of options here. We could have Wayne Ellington or even Malik Monk, but I chose Bazemore. Bazemore can hit the three and defend better than Ellington and Monk. Now that the Lakers do not have KCP in their lineup, they'll need someone who can do what KCP did, and that's hitting open shots, defend the perimeter, and run in fast breaks if necessary. And I think Bazemore is the nearest they can get to that. Bazemore reportedly took less money to play for the Lakers this season to pursue a championship. He averaged 40% from beyond the arc last season on 2.7 attempts per game. Kent fits the Lakers lineup, and he'll probably get some open looks here and there, considering that he's playing alongside Westbrook, LeBron, and Anthony Davis. He's also capable of taking on the defense and attacking the rim. On the defensive side of things, Bazemore can be a good defender on the perimeter. With the Warriors last season, when Bazemore was on the floor, they have allowed 6.4 points less per 100 possessions. If Bazemore can get decent shooting averages and maintain his defensive form, he can easily be one of the team's most significant contributors and this offseason's important acquisition. At the small forward position, we got, of course, LeBron James. There were only 71 days between the Lakers' 2020 NBA Finals victory and their 21 regular season opening against the Clippers, making it the shortest offseason in NBA history. Their offseason, like that of other bubble playoff teams, appeared to put them at a disadvantage for the 2020-21 season right away. All of this is to imply that the Lakers may have paid the price of missing the NBA Finals in 2021 as a result of the sacrifices they made in their quest for the 2020 title. Between the completion of the 2021 season and the first preseason game of the 2022 season, they'll have 122 days. That should give LeBron James and the rest of the team plenty of time to get healthy and ready for the new season. LeBron played 45 games in the recent NBA season. He averaged 25 points, 7.7 rebounds, and 7.8 assists. However, he had one of his lowest averages in field goal attempts, as well as in minutes played in his entire career. But this does not mean that he'll suddenly go downhill in his 19th NBA campaign. We can still expect LeBron to go strong into the rim from time to time, but he'll become more of a facilitator like what we've seen from him in the past couple of years. At the power forward position, we got Anthony Davis. In 3 of AD's NBA seasons, he played at the 5, and AD can definitely play the center position. But for this lineup, I think it's best if AD plays at the power forward position. He will not have to be boxing out in every possession, and this means less stress in his body. As an NBA fan, we would all remember AD's lackluster 2021 season. However, the problem was his health. He could not stay healthy, and when he wasn't 100% on the court. He played the fewest minutes per game since his freshman year at 32.3, had the lowest field goal percentage of his career at 49.1%, and the list goes on. The point is that, while last season was a lost cause for him, that should not be used to totally dismiss him. Anthony Davis has shown that he has the ability to be a top player in the NBA. He's proven it in New Orleans, and now he's proving it in Los Angeles. He's arguably the most important reason the Lakers won a championship in 2020, and he could be that reason again in 2022. If AD can reclaim his former status as a top player prior to last season, the Lakers will become far more dangerous than most people imagine. But only time will tell if this is true. At the center position, we got Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard, who is returning to Los Angeles for the third time, will be 36 before the midway of the upcoming NBA season. In the last 2 seasons, he hasn't started 10 games or played more than 20 minutes a game. We can all say that Dwight is a role-playing reserve at this point in his career, but he is still reliable in suiting up for games night in and night out. Can you believe that he only missed an average of fewer than 10 games in 4 of the past 5 seasons? In the 2021 season, Laker fans should have noticed that they were missing something from their championship run in 2020, and that is the quickness, rebounding, and inside presence of Howard and McGee. Let's talk about Andre Drummond real quick. I do not blame the people who assumed that Drummond was an upgrade over Dwight Howard. Drummond is undoubtedly one of the best rebounders in the modern NBA. However, when we talk about setting up screens, running towards the rim, and blocking shots, well, there's no doubt Dwight outclasses the younger Drummond. Dwight Howard was a key player of the Lakers' 2019-20 championship team, filling all 3 of the mentioned duties effectively. Howard spent nearly a third of his minutes next to Anthony Davis during that season, reducing the wear and tear on the Lakers' most valued big man during the regular season. The Lakers prospered in those minutes, posting a plus 5.0 net rating, which was close to their team's plus 5.6 net rating, which was the best in the NBA at the time. Now, let's look at some notable players from the Lakers bench. We have Carmelo Anthony and Trevor Ariza, who can get some minutes in the small forward or power forward positions. We have backup point guards in Kendrick Nunn, Malik Monk, Rajon Rondo, and Wayne Ellington, and DeAndre Jordan, who recently signed with the Lakers to be their backup big man. Let's take a second to answer the question, are the Lakers too old to win the 2022 NBA title? The league average is currently at 26.2, and with the Lakers lineup, they're now the oldest with an average age of 30.9. LeBron James is no stranger to starting a season with an older team, as his name appears on 3 of the 5 oldest championship clubs in NBA history. While age is often used in a negative context, it's also true that championship contenders usually fall at or near the top of the list when it comes to the most experienced rosters. If you're going to ask me if they're too old to win the title, I'd say no.